Okay, trigonometry. First one is the trigonometric ratios. There are 6 ratios. The common one, sine, cos, tan, and also there's an inverse sine, cos, tan. But today we're just going to focus on the first 3, sine, cosine, and tangent. And I've got something that it says a Sohcahtoa. It's just trying to memorize all these 3 ratios in an easier way. So let's have a look at the right angle triangle. Now, as you can see, opposite to the angle is called opposite. Opposite to the right angle is hypotenuse. And the side with the 2 angles is adjacent. Okay, so with the Sohcahtoa, the first letter is indicating ratios, sine, cosine, tangent. These 2 are the ratios, which is fraction. And so it'll be opposite over hypotenuse, adjacent over hypotenuse, opposite over adjacent. So let's have a look at that. Push up a little. So these are the Sohcahtoa. So it's a S-O-H, that's a so, C-A-H, car, and T-O-A as a toa. Okay, so that's what it means. Let's have a look at, continue to have a look at that. Now, the second part I would like to have a look at is the exact ratios. Now, when we talk about exact ratios, there are a few more than just 3 of these, but the main thing will be 30 degrees and 60 degrees and 45 degrees. The reason I'm putting 30 and 60, 45 instead of 30, 45, 60, I found it's a bit easier to remember. I'm going to just show you easier way of memorizing this. So I'm going to actually write this down. It's not a bad idea to use triangle one, diagram with the 30 degrees and 60 and also the 45, and then you can memorize that way. Now I'm just going to show you something different. This is half, 1. So tan 45 is 1, sine 30 is half, cos 60 is half. So it's almost like half plus half is 1. So it's just sort of easy to remember. And also 1 over root 2, 1 over root 2 is 1. Sort of, it's not exactly, but it's sort of like half plus half. Similar, but it's got a square root underneath. Okay. Now, as you can see, the sine 30 and the cos 60 are the same, and therefore sine 60 and cos 30 will be the same. It'll be root 3 over 2, root 3 over 2. Just remember, the denominator is all 2. And tan 30 is 1 over root 3, but tan 60 is root 3. Just remember that it's 30 is a smaller and 60 is a bigger, so root 3 is a bigger than 1 over root 3. So I found it's a little bit easier sort of using a pattern, but it doesn't really matter which way you do it as long as you remember, and easier for you to remember the exact values. Okay, next one, changing into like degrees, minutes, and seconds. Okay, there's our little symbols there, and we're going to use the calculator. The symbols on the calculator is like this. That's a degree, minute, and second, or DMS, like a degree, minutes, and second. Depends on which calculator you use. So the first one will be degrees, and the middle part is the minutes, and 43 is the seconds. Now remember, you need to think about this as an hour, minute, and second as well. So half of 60 minutes is a 30. So whenever it's a 30 or more than 30, it rounded up. Okay, so let's have a look at that. So this is just example. To the nearest degree from here. Now when you look at the nearest degree, I'm looking at a minute. So it's a more than 30. It's rounding up, so it's a 51 degrees. And then to the nearest minute, it'll be up to here. But when we look at the seconds, it's more than 30, so it's rounded up. It's actually 30 or more than 30, so it's definitely rounding up to 50 degrees in 36 minutes. Okay, next one. Now we want to change it decimal degrees into degree, minute and second. Okay, let's have a look at examples. So change 50 degrees, 35 minutes, 43 seconds into a decimal, 3 decimal places. So if you put that in your calculator, this is what you have to do. 50 and then DMS button, and 35 DMS, 43 DMS equals, and DMS buttons again, you will get 50.595277 and so on. And roughly, because it's a 3 decimal place, it'd be 50.595. Then second question, I'll push up a little. Okay, this one we're going to change into degrees and minutes. So 45.236, put that in your calculator, press equal, and then press the DMS button, and you will get this. Okay, next question. So we're going to do example 1. Okay, so it says here, I'm going to put this up. Using Pythagoras Theorem, find the exact length of AC. AC is right there. I'll put the question mark there. Now, exact length is within square root form. Okay, so we're going to use Pythagoras Theorem here. So hypotenuse square equals the square of the sum of the two squares shorter sides. So that will give me, if I want to find just AC equals square root of AB square minus BC square. Now, we don't really count negative, so because it's AC square, you probably think plus minus, but it's not, because it's a length. There's no negative length, so we only count the positive. So if I do that, I will get AC equals 2 squared minus 1 squared, which is root 3 units. Okay, because it was a length. All right, the second part. So I'm going to put that in there. So write down the exact ratios, which is the square root form. I'm going to push this one up a little bit more so I can see all the whole question. And cover this part C. So I just copy this diagram from the part A. Now we know AC length as a root 3, so I just put that all in. Now we need to write down the exact ratios of sine 60, cos 60, and tan 60. So using Sohcahtoa, I'll go sine 60 will be opposite over hypotenuse, opposite over hypotenuse. That's a root 3 over 2. Cos 60 is adjacent over hypotenuse, adjacent over hypotenuse. Tan 60 will be opposite over adjacent, so opposite of adjacent, which is, we can simplify as root 3. Now, next question is writing in 30, exact form, but in the 30 degrees. So let's have a look. Same thing, I'm just copy that, but you need to rotate this just easier to see. I suppose you don't really need to rotate, as long as you know where opposite and adjacent hypotenuse are. I think you'll be able to use Sohcahtoa any sort of rotation. So sine 30 will be opposite over hypotenuse, which is half. Cosine 30 is adjacent over hypotenuse, adjacent over hypotenuse of 2, so root 3 over 2. Tan 30 is opposite over adjacent, so opposite of adjacent, so that's what it was. Okay, next question. Let's have a look. example 2. Okay, so we're going to round each angle to the nearest minute. Okay, so part 1, it says 76 degrees and 37 minutes and 19 seconds. I need to simplify this one up to the nearest minute, so up to here. So I'm going to look at my second, and second is less than 30, so it's not going to round it up, so I'm just going to ignore that. So the answer should be 76 degrees and 37 minutes. Okay, and then next one, 52 degrees and 29 minutes and 54 seconds. So but my second is 30 or more than 30, so it's definitely going to round it up. So my answer will be 52 degrees and 30 minutes. Okay, next one, change to decimal. Okay, changing it to decimal, so you probably need to use your calculator for this one. So get your calculator ready. I'm not sure whether you can see my calculator clearly. Oh yes, I think you can. So what you got to do is now 68 DMS, 21 DMS, and then equals, and you press DMS again, you will get, oh, is it, yes, that's better, 68.35. So I'm just going to write 68.35. Okay, next one, I'm going to do 82 DMS, 31 DMS equals, and then I'm going to press, oh, maybe I should put us there, DMS again. So I will get 82.51777 all the way. So it says 3 decimal. I think it's going to do 3 decimal places. So 82.517. 82.517. I'm going to put 3 decimal places. I've done it. Okay. Next one. Let's have a look. I'm going to push this one up. It's easier for me to write things down. Change into degrees and minutes. So again, I'm going to put this up here. So I've cleared that. So I'm going to do 46.9, and then I'm going to press equals and press DMS button. I'll get 46 degrees and 54 minutes. So I'm going to write it down, my answer, 46 degrees and 54 minutes. The next one, I'm going to clear that up, 73.213 and equals, and I'm going to press DMS. I will get 73 degrees and 12 minutes and 46.8 seconds. So if I want to write it as minutes, I'm going to have to round it up. So my answer will be 73 degrees and 13 minutes. So I'm going to write that down, 73 degrees and 13 minutes. Okay, next one. Find correct to 3 decimal places. Okay, sine 68 degrees and 6 minutes. So I'm going to write that. Let's see if I can clear that up. So sine, it was a 68 degrees and 6 minutes, close the brackets, equals, gives me 0.9272 ... So it says 3 decimal places, so I'm going to go 0.927, because 2 we don't really have to worry about because it has to be 5 or more than 5. So my answer here will be 0.927. Okay. And the next one, clear that up. I'll go 10, 70 3 point, no, I think I'm doing the wrong question. Okay, yes, 54 degrees and 20 minutes, close it, brackets, and I will get 1.393357135, and I wanted the 3 decimal places up here, so it'll be 1.393. So 1.393. Okay, next one. Next one is a find theta, which is angle. Now, anything we have to find the theta, you've got to do shift trig ratios. Why? Because this one is a theta equals, when the cosine goes the other side, becomes inverse. So it'll be 0.827. And then you have to find it. So let me show you the calculator. So clear that up. I'm going to go shift cos. Can you see there's the inverse -1 there? So because it's moved to the left to the right, it happens. So whenever the question says find the angle, that's what you got to do. You press a shift and one of those trig ratios. Okay, so I'm going to put 0.827 equals. Now we need to write it in a degrees and minutes, and this is in decimal. So what do we press? DMS button. So it'll be 34 degrees and 12 minutes and 29.56 seconds, but we only need to up to minutes. So the answer should be 34 degrees and 12 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing for tangent. I'm going to clear that up. So I'm going to go shift tan 1.056, close that, and equals. Again, it's in a decimal. I don't want that in decimal. I want a DMS. So here is a 46 degrees and 33 minutes and 36.72 seconds, and we need to just up to minutes. But because seconds are 30 or more than 30, it's going to go round it up. It'll become 46 degrees and 34 minutes. So I'm going to write that down. But before I do that, I'm going to write my working out. 10 minus 1, 1.056. That equals 46 degrees and 34 minutes.